What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Apex Podcast. This is the Esports World Cup mini-cast. We just had the first day of the group stage of Esports World Cup go down. I got to give myself a pat on the back. I was a finesse god at work today. Watched all 10 games at work. Don't know how I made it happen. Found a way to do it. There was a lot of finagling, a lot of finessing, and that's just how it got done. With me here is Connor. Everybody knows him as ProGents. That's the guy who's been editing our YouTube for a couple years now. Connor, first time like officially on the show. I think you've been on here and there, but like officially on the show. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. I think first time actually being on a recording. We've done the live streams before, but this will be the first time getting on the recording. So
hell yeah, baby.
Good to be here.
Hell yeah, baby. So we obviously Jumba is in Saudi and their time difference is crazy. I tried to text him to see what was going on, but I think he's already asleep. And then Enoch is on that pred grind like crazy. And then Donnie as well. Donnie is out of town. So me, Connor, going to break down group stage day one. We're going to do a podcast tomorrow as well. And then I don't know. Do you know if the finals and everything, it's like all the days in a row?
I think it's last chance on Saturday and then finals on Sunday.
Okay, so it's all the days in a row. So we will have a podcast out every single night this week. This is just the first day, group stage, day number one. I kind of just wanted to go through all these games because, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I was very hesitant on the format of how they were doing this because it wasn't exactly what we're used to. It's not what we know. I can tell you just from watching these games, the amount of intensity there was from start to finish was palpable. You could feel it. Like there was teams that were sitting on the 9 bubble the entire time. There were teams that were sitting in dead last the entire time that were trying to find a way to get out and not either get relegated or completely get eliminated from the competition. So it was insane. I loved how much it felt like things were going on. And I love the format that they had going. I was really enjoying it. And we can get to the results here in just a second. But what did you think of the format, Connor?
I really like it. It feels like there's more weight to the group stage since you've got a team that can be eliminated day one if you finish last place. So the games just felt like, even though it was a long set, you have 10 games, it just felt like everything was weighing a little bit more than like ALGS Split 1 playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that was crazy was the fact that there was the fan voted maps. We got Kings Canyon first. We got Broken Moon second. The Kings Canyon game, if you would have blinked, it was already over. That game went by so quickly, and it was so funny to watch. I believe Falcons ended up winning that game. But the Kings Canyon game was incredible. It was also nice to see Broken Moon for the first time out there, or at least this new version of Broken Moon out there. Actually, I think the only time Broken Moon's ever been in any sort of like ranked version of a map was on like a little cup a while back when it first came out. So this is like its real like action, only action it's ever really had. So it was nice to see both of those maps in there. I'm very happy. I am part of Olympus Army, but I'm very happy that map wasn't in competitive. I'd rather it stay in the casuals. Let's keep it there. But that was the other part of the format that I thought was cool. I guess the only detraction I had from this whole thing was it felt a little long. 10 games felt a little long. It was like 6 hours, almost my entire shift. I was watching Esports World Cup. So it was that. I guess that's the only tough part, but I think sometimes you have to endure that to get to like those moments like game 10. Those are kind of like those big moments that get you to feel all the hypeness. There was a moment at the end that we'll get to with Designful that without all those games before, probably didn't feel as weighted and as awesome as it did when it first happened. So that was really my only detraction. The stage looks great. Nice to see Jayhawk out there. So that was cool. Nice to see our guy there. Awesome event all the way around so far. The stage looks nice. They do have a couple things in the broadcast as well that I really like, where they do a side-by-side of like the map and who's playing right there. So there's little things that I think in the future, hopefully our own ALGS can adopt. But that's basically all I had. Was there any detractors for you other than anything I named?
I don't think really detractors, but like the production quality was really nice. It seems like even though it was 6 hours and 10 games, they got those games moving once they started playing. I mean, it was
Yeah.
only like 10 minutes between games. And then the one quality of life thing I liked from the stream was when a team got eliminated, there was a big red banner up at
Yeah.
the top of the screen. So that was nice. You can see who went out during
You know what
those
I
crazy
found out
moments.
about that? A few weeks ago, I stayed up real late with IM Brad. Shout out Brad from APAC South. He wanted me to join in for one of his streams for I think the regional final for APAC South. They have that in APAC South. I don't know why we don't have it in NA if they have it in
Yeah.
APAC South. I know it's a different. I think it's a different production company that puts it together, but
Mm.
I loved that change as well. The funny one that I tweeted out was they also have a tracker for which teams are ratting. There's a team's ratting bar at the top of the screen, and it'll tell you which teams only have one person left who's ratting and hiding, which I think is
That's pretty
hilarious.
sick.
That's something that we need to keep going in the future. I think the rat adjuster, somebody's out there. It like they're paying somebody to look for the rats and put it in there. I love that. I love that
Yeah,
so much.
that is awesome.
I love it to death. Okay, let's get to the results here. Team Falcons, they suck, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
they're terrible. There was a stretch here where they went first, second, not to their standards, man. That has
no.
to be all first.
I
They
mean,
got
I
to get all
think
first there.
yeah, they got to get those seconds out of the way for finals.
Yeah.
So
Very disappointed in them. It just craziness how they don't get first every single time. In all seriousness, Falcons absolutely dominated this game. There was a moment, I think, going into Game 10 where Twisted Minds, which was formerly Legends Gaming with Strafing Flame, shout out Strafing Flame, friend of the program, they had a chance there at the end. They did have a chance. It didn't go their way. They would have had to absolutely pop off and get first place, and then Falcons would have had to get 20th, which I don't know if it's possible for Falcons to get 20th, but that was really the only way that was going to work out. Obviously, that didn't happen. But Team Falcons with 140 points on the day, like I mentioned before, first, second, that stretch was insane. And it's not like they were getting no KP. First with 9, first with 11, second with 12, first with 16, second with 4. I mean, they were just frying out there. They were getting kills, they were getting placement, they were doing everything that Falcons you expect them to do. They were bullying people out of POIs. Like they just feel like they have a confidence level that they can take anybody, anytime, any place. It could be just one of them. It could be all three of them. It doesn't matter. Their confidence is unmatched. And how could you blame them when you've got the three of the best players on the same team? Like it was crazy to watch. What did you see from Falcons?
I mean, yeah, they were just the firepower is just insane on that team. And then they're coming in like I think it was game 2, which is not one of their hottest games, but they come in and just third party wipe up, reject over in checkpoint, just easy clean wipes like that. So it was pretty flawless day from them.
There was a moment on Kings Canyon where they were stuck inside bunker. They had KCP and another team at the bottom. They had I forgot who's at the top blocking them out. They're basically trapped. They're dead. There's no way they can get out. They go down to fight KCP, catch them off guard. They get the kills on KCP. Then the other team comes in, knocks Hal, or no, I think they knock Zero. Hal pops he pops Fusel so that they can't pass through so they can try to get Zero up. The team tries to zip line on top of them because they have a Pathfinder. They all get up. They're all able to finish that squad. And then the squad from up top tries to come in and then they just finish that. Like it was
Yeah.
you want to talk about positions in this entire video game's history that are almost impossible to get out of. You would say bunker from Kings Canyon. If you are trapped in there, you're trapped in there. There's not a whole lot you can do, but this just shows how good they are and how much better they are than the competition right now. And I feel like it's disrespectful to say that, but it's not at the same time. They dropped 140 points
Yeah.
and they won 3 games in a 10-game set in a BR and then they had 2 more second places. Like it was if we look at their entire day, I think they only didn't get top 10 one time. I think they had one game where they were 11th. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
those types of numbers are ridiculous. It makes no sense. That's how good this team is. It's crazy. So Team Falcons, they come out, they wipe up. They're obviously our winners. Let's round out the rest of the top 5 here. We've got Twisted Minds in second, Team Liquid in third, FaZe Clan in fourth, and Gaiman Gladiators in fifth. If we go through the rest of the scoreboard here, our top 9, Luminosity, they stay in the top 9, Aurora as well, GHS, X Solo, and then X Solo was the last one in there, just missing the cut. Outside of it was Crazy Raccoons with 50 points. X Solo had 52, so they missed it by 2 points. And then DSG had 49. That was tough. Now, if we really want to get into the next part of this thing here, we got to talk about the 9th place bubble. That was the place that I think everybody was looking at the most throughout this entire thing, because back and forth they go. It was GHS, X Solo, Crazy Raccoon, and Disguised all kind of battling it out. Crazy Raccoon kind of came in a little bit later because they ended the day with a first place and they got 12 kills, so they kind of squeezed in there later. But DSG was hovering in there most of the day, and I think at one point they were 4th, and then they just hit a lull, and they had some real bad games. Like they had a 17th, 20th, 10th, 17th, like right at the tail end of the day, and it was tough to watch. Designful came back, and in the final game, he got a solo clutch against a full team. I believe it was against Twisted Minds, who gets second on the day. He wipes them all up. They move into 9th position from that fight win, and I think they end up getting, what was it, 8th? Yeah, they get 8th place in that one. But then the team comes in, wipes them right after, and GHS and X Solo were able to stay alive and get themselves some points and get themselves some pretty decent placement on that, and they take the position. I felt real bad for DSG. I felt like they had it going in the early portion of the day. They did have a 4th place in the second, and they were getting some KP, just not as much KP as we're used to them getting. I think that's where their day kind of went haywire, is usually, especially in a 10-game set, you would expect a DSG pop-off game of like plus 10 kills. And I don't think they ever got more than like 6. Let me look here. Yeah, they never got more than 6. So that was really what kind of hemmed them in. But I feel real bad. How do you feel about their chances going into losers? They have to get 1st or 2nd place. That's the only way they can move on. It's such a daunting task.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough task. I think they're definitely one of the teams that can do it, though. They just got to get that momentum going in the right direction for them. They got to be winning those fights on edge, taking space, getting kills, and yeah, but it really depends on too, who we're going to see come out from tomorrow, like who's going to be in that.
Yeah, it's tough. It was tough to watch, but especially when they were so close the entire day. And there was just some random deaths that were coming out from DSG. They had some games where you would look up and randomly you look and they're in a good spot, but enemies down, or you look, they're in a good spot and QZer's down, and it kind of just went back and forth. And I think that was the other part too. They did show on screen that Design did have like a rage moment after I think game 9, and you wonder what the vibes were like going into that game 10. And for him to pull out the clutch like he did in that game 10, it gave, I think it should give them a lot of confidence going into losers, because you know that you have a guy on your team that just took on the second best team of the day by himself. Granted, he did kind of third party, but he's third partying solo, and this is one of the best teams in the league, and he was able to kill all 3 of them on his own. So we'll see how it works. The other thing too is the Wraith has had games where the Wraith looks real good for them, and there was some games in this set where the Wraith, you could say, cost them. And it just really depends on where you sit on the fence with the Wraith. But we're going to see what happens here. I really would love to see if they swapped off it, how good they could be. That's really what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him, run more of the meta composition, but I think the Wraith it fits Design so well. And honestly, even with this performance coming out 11th, I still think it's not bad for them. You got to think QZer this is his first ever lane environment. He's only got one split day and one regional final under his belt. So, definitely hopefully got the jitters out and looking to bounce back on Saturday.
And they are still qualified for champs as well. So they will get, as long as everything stays together, they still have another shot, another kick at the can. Let's go through the teams that did not make it, but will be in losers. That is Crazy Raccoons, Disguise, like we just talked about. Guild Esports, they started off good as well, and they had a chance there at the end. I think they were sitting at 9th before the final game. GK Esports, Evo's Predator, Ninjas in Pajamas, Makers, Red Rams, Fennel, and the Pioneers. Those are the teams that will be in losers. One team was eliminated, and I don't think anybody would have guessed this just a few months ago, but Reject Winity. Obviously, it's not the same team, but Reject Winity, they are your team that is eliminated. Their key was crushed, which, by the way, is such a demoralizing way to go out. Like, not only do you go out of the tournament, but your key gets crushed for like the little trophy thing that they got going on in Esports World Cup. So Reject, they are the first team out. Another team will be eliminated tomorrow. But Reject just never had it going the entire day. They just never really had it going. They had one game, I guess you could say. They got 4th place with 5 kills, but it just always seemed like they were one of the first teams to go out. And I thought for a while it was going to be KCP. I was worried because I love KCP and I love Onmu. And the last time we saw him at a LAN, literally 40th place, like dead last. And I was like, please do not be dead last in this LAN. And he got damn close. The points were 4 apart. Pioneers got 23 points. Reject got 19. That's how close it was. Pioneers was at the bottom all day long, and they finally were able to pull it out. But Reject is our first team to go. Kind of crazy to see the fall from grace. Obviously, the old roster of Reject -1 is now Crazy Raccoons, who are also, they didn't qualify for the day either. They just barely missed it by 2 points. But kind of crazy to see how far it's come. Like Reject, first one's out at Esports World Cup. Wild. It's wild, unprecedented times. Let's talk about some of the other teams here. Was there a team that came to mind that you wanted to talk about that you were impressed with?
I mean, obviously, I'm rocking the Team Liquid jersey right now, so I was impressed with them. Really a big bounce back from Split 1 playoffs. They finished, I think it was 19th Split 1 playoffs, so not the best performance that they wanted on that finals day, but they really looked solid today. Their team fighting was on point. I think it was, game 2, they get 4th with 11 kills, so just not even a first place, but ton of kills for them there. So they looked really solid today.
Yeah, so that was one of them. I want to go back to Twisted Minds a little bit. Twisted Minds, formerly known as Legends Gaming, formerly known as what was it, Blackhand? Mm-hmm. Strafing Flame going nuts. I got to say it right now, Strafing Flame has a championship level celebration. His celebration is just him shaking in his chair, just gyrating and screaming as loud as he possibly can. That's championship level to me. The only other championship level celebration I saw throughout the day was Zero for Falcons. That was the only other one that I saw that I was like, okay, that's championship level. But we already knew that. Like, we didn't have to be reminded of that. We already knew what they were capable of. And so now that I've seen this from Twisted Minds, I don't want to say that they're going to win because I feel like I would jinx it. Everybody's already on Falcons. But I'm saying, hypothetically, if there was a team, if Falcons were to stumble, this should be the team you're looking at right now. And obviously, we still have a whole nother day to be played with a lot of great teams that still have not played yet in the group stage. We'll get that all tomorrow. But they look real good. They look real good. They had 2 wins. They had one with 8 bods. They had one with 15 bods. So they were out here slaying. Strafing Flame doing his thing. Also, Easy Flash is nuts. He is nuts. I don't understand. Is he M? They're all M and K, right? I believe they're all M and K. I think they said it on the broadcast. I'm not. Maybe Jayhawk was saying it. I was trying to think of something. Like, I could have listened to his analysis, but I was like, how can I make a tweet making fun of him? And I just couldn't think of anything. So, shout out Jayhawk. But I think they're all M and K.
Yes. Yeah, they're all M and K.
Yeah. So Easy Flash on M&K looking like a controller player. Insane. There was a game where he had the Kraber and he was just dancing around, prancing like a fool, shooting everybody, just getting bodies left and right. That game was nuts. FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan had some good games too. It took them a little while. Like they started off okay, then they kind of lulled out for a bit, came back. They were good. Gaming Gladiators. That was another team that I think everybody was kind of surprised by. Luminosity. They didn't have KP in the first two games, and they were like second place. So it was weird. I don't know how that worked, but yeah, I can't really think of anything else that was super crazy. Were there any storylines that you could think of?
I think we got to talk about Aurora's jerseys. I mean, those were just by far the best jerseys out there.
Wait, what
With
was their? I didn't see their jerseys.
You haven't seen their. So they've got. They say something. Each jersey says something different. Let me see if I can find these jerseys. A photo.
I didn't see him. I'm the jersey guy, and I didn't even see these, dude. What do you mean? What's their Twitter? Oh, I found it. Okay. Let me see. I found their Twitter. Do they have a picture of just the jerseys up?
That's what I'm looking for.
I'm scrolling. Oh my God. Designed with the David Goggins headphones. I just saw that pic. That's a legendary pic. I love that. Wait, I actually saw this. Oh, here's one. Matafe Peaceful 0 kills.
Yeah,
that
so
jersey.
They were like, that's one of them. That's basically getting at zero. What they get like 0 kills at Split One playoffs or something like that.
Oh, Spider Tiff signed with Aurora.
Yeah.
Hey, give Spider Tiff a chance.
That's what I'm saying.
Signer, friend of the program. Friend of the program. We vouch. Yeah, those jerseys, even without the words on the front, are actually sick.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot going on, and a lot of times when you got jerseys like that with a lot going on, it's hard to like fall in love with that. You know, These are nice. These are real nice. Okay, let me think if I can think of any moments that happened while the broadcast was going on that I forgot about that was funny. Like I said, I tried to think of something to make fun of Jayhawk, but I mean, I couldn't.
Dude,
his fit was, he had a good fit.
He had a fire fit.
He had a fire fit. He had the chain going. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I can't even make fun of that, you know? He was taller than everybody, it looked like. How I can't make fun of that, you know? His prediction is Falcons. Yeah. I guess I could have made fun of that and just be like, wow, nice pick. But then they won. They've got first, second. So I can't make fun of that. Damn. He put me in a bind this week. I'm not going to lie. I'm in a headlock right now. I could make fun of him one time. Also, we might have Jumba on in the future. If I can, tomorrow when he wakes up, I'll talk to him. And we'll be like, hey, how can we set this up? So we'll see if we can get Jumba in on the future. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that went down. It is a group stage. You know, you're really just trying to figure out who's going and who's not. I guess we could say this. Out of all the teams that made it, you would have expected most of these to be the ones to move on to the winners, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is who I expected, like LG, Aurora, FaZe, Team Liquid. I mean, that's kind of right where I would have had them predicted. I think the only one, I feel like Pioneers.
Pioneers is the one I'm thinking too.
I'm thinking they could have been in that 8th to like 12th range. I think that's where they should have been. I think they just struggled today. And, you know, being back on LAN, maybe got some jitters again. So
I did see Omnu tweet out 1 out of 10 on beacons is insane. So I guess they only got one beacon the entire. So that does that. I mean, even if you get half that just means 2. Let's say you get 4, right? You probably have a much better day. Yeah, that was the team I was looking at as well. I'd expect them in the same spot. With DSG, if you would have said they're going to losers at 11th, they missed it by a couple points, I would have seen that coming. Crazy Raccoons, I guess I would have seen getting in there instead of maybe like a GHS or an X Solos. But, you know, I guess those are really the only ones. Guild Esports. We'll see how they were kind of sneaky, surprising. I watched them when I was doing the watch party with B-Rad, and they took me by surprise. I really liked how that team played. To see them in this environment where they're like within competition that's across all regions. 12th isn't too bad by just, I mean, basically they didn't make ninth place by like 4 points. So
Yeah.
that was one. I do have something that I thought was funny. So I got added to this like Apex comp group chat on Twitter, and there was a guy from X Solos, and he was in there, and people were like congratulating him. They were like, "Oh, congrats!" And then he said, or it was like, "I always get so nervous. If you guys could see how bad I'm pacing right now," in the chat. And then some guy was like, "You got this." And then he was like, "I only threw up 10 times." And then they gave him congrats. And then, so shout out to those guys. They were nervous, but they made it in.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's
definitely,
cool.
Definitely love to see that for the South America scene. I definitely didn't expect them to be there. I was thinking they were going to be way lower, but they definitely surprised me today.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Good for them. Okay, so this is the first mini cast of the group stage. We'll have another mini cast tomorrow after the games on Friday, and we'll probably have a little bit more to talk about. Just we'll be able to see the full winners, full losers. We can kind of break it down, give out what we think. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll probably get back to regular episodes next week, but for this week, we're just going to go through all the mini-sodes, doing all the Esports World Cup stuff, and just kind of going through. If we can get some guests on, we might bring on Jumba, maybe Jayhawk. We'll see if we can get those guys. If Enoch is free, I know he's like going hard for number 1 right now, so he's close. I think he's second place, and he was only down like 12K. So he's like grinding. So we'll see if he can get that. I doubt he'll come on, but maybe if he locks it up. But Connor, thank you for hopping on.
Yep.
Ladies and gents, we'll catch you tomorrow. Oh, go ahead.
Really quick before we go, prediction top 9 for tomorrow.
Top 9 for tomorrow.
Can we
That's
get a quick one? No particular order.
That's actually smart. That's a good call by you. Let me look. Oh shit!
It's a pretty stacked lobby as well.
Lobby is stacked. Also, I want to say this. I'm hearing reports of people saying that me and my co-host Chris from Grab My Banner put Riddle Order on the map. I did not come up with those reports. It's not like I bought the t-shirt and Chris bought the jersey, and then all of a sudden guys like Nice Wig are signing with Riddle Order. We didn't say that we put them on the map. Others are saying that, not us, okay? Others are saying that. We already knew how good of a team they were. We already knew how sick their jerseys were. We already knew how sick the entire team was. We're not saying that. Others are, not us. We didn't put them on the map. I would never say that I put that team on the map ever. Okay, let's look at this right now.
Okay. I've got my list if you want me to go.
Go ahead.
So no particular order here. Top 9. I've got Fnatic, NRG, TSM, Alliance, Space Station, Virtus Pro, Northeption, Blacklist International, I think. Yeah. E8, and then ExoClan.
Okay.
So I want to see K-Swinny in the finals.
Name a winner. You don't have to name the rest of the order.
Name a winner?
Yeah, name a winner.
I think for me, it's going to be either TSM, Alliance, or Fnatic. And I feel like there's blood in the water for TSM. I think they really want that first place, so I'm going to say TSM.
Okay. I'm going to go Alliance, Fnatic, NRG, Riddle, Space Station, TSM, VP. I'm going to go Northeption. And for my last team to get in, I'm going to say Navi. I'm going to say Navi. I didn't say Navi, right?
No, you didn't. I just realized I had 10 in my list.
Yeah, 10. My team that is surprisingly left off that list is E8. I don't think that they're going to be able to pull it out. and I think we're going to be seeing them in losers. And then my team that I think is going to win, I'm going to say we've seen them get 5th or 6th the entire time throughout the entire split. I'm going to say NRG gets their big pop off and they win.
I like
I'm going
it.
to say NRG wins it.
I'm taking
All right.
E8 off my list.
You're taking E8 off?
Yep.
We both took them off.
Yeah.
All right, they're winning tomorrow. Congrats, E8, on winning tomorrow.
Yep.
Congrats. All right, ladies and gents, that was the first mini cast. We will be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more. Also, if you want to hear anything for us to break down on the future mini cast, we got 3 more of these in the bank. Send us a tweet, send us a DM, send us something in Discord. We got the mini cast coming. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.